Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's Monday Night Raw broadcast live on USA Network from the MVP Arena in Albany, New York. In the main event, Seth Rollins made the 9th televised defense of his World Heavyweight title, defeating Jey Uso with a pedigree and a curb stomp.
And now Seth Rollins with a stomp to main event Jey Uso and the cover, and Rollins retains in one hell of a main event.
Following the match, Drew McIntyre ran in to hit Uso with a Claymore kick. Rollins attempted the save, but McIntyre suplexed him, then put Uso through a ringside table to end the show. McIntyre had appeared earlier in the show, defeating Sami Zayn in the opening match. Also on the show, Cody Rhodes confronted Shinsuke Nakamura in an in-ring promo in which he challenged Nakamura to wrestle him.
You think our stories are the same? Shinsuke, I appreciate you explaining why you attacked me, and perhaps we've had a similar path, but until you stand in this ring with me, I need you to know I don't rate you, I don't respect you. It has never been part of my story to run from a fight. You keep saying that we're the same. Prove it.
In other results, Nia Jax beat Shayna Baszler. DIY defeated Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser in a 2 out of 3 falls match. The Creed brothers topped JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio of Judgment Day. And Caden Carter and Katana Chance went over Natalya and Tegan Nox. In All Elite Wrestling news, AEW Vice President of Post-Production Kevin Sullivan has been released by the company, according to a report from the Wrestling Observer Newsletter's Dave Meltzer, later confirmed by Fightful. AEW Senior Vice President Mike Mansouri reportedly made the decision to release Sullivan, who came to AEW from Impact Wrestling in October of 2019. The reason for Sullivan's release is not yet known. In more WWE news, a fan jumped the guardrail and apparently attempted to attack Grayson Waller at WWE's SmackDown House Show last Sunday night at the University of Delaware Athletic Complex in Newark, Delaware. Fan video posted on social media shows the fan being restrained by arena security and physically removed from the scene as he's being taunted from a distance by Waller and his tag team partner Austin Theory. The incident occurred as Waller and Theory were leaving the ring after defeating the team of Cameron Grimes and Odyssey Jones. In legal news, WWE was sent a cease and desist order last week with regards to the yeet catchphrase used by Jey Uso. The Wrestling News has learned that independent wrestler Casey Huffman first applied for the trademark on the term with regards to pro wrestling in 2021. The parties involved are reportedly exploring potential resolution of the issue. Huffman is being represented by Stephen P. New and Dusty Gwynn. The yeet catchphrase was blurred out on Uso's shirt during Monday Night Raw last night. In ratings news, last Friday's episode of SmackDown, which was back in its normal time slot on Fox after being moved the previous week to FS1, drew a total audience of 2.044 million, according to WrestleNomics. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .59. AEW Rampage, which also aired Friday night after being moved the previous week to Saturday night, drew a total audience of 348,000, which was up more than 30% from the previous week's audience of 264,000, according to WrestleNomics. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .10. New Japan Pro Wrestling presented the 12th day of the World Tag League Tournament yesterday in Kochi, Japan. Winning matches in Block B were the teams of Yota Tsuji and Zandakan Jr., Bishamon, El Phantasmo and Hikuleo, and Bad Luck Fale and Jack Bonza. Phantasmo and Hikuleo, Taichi and Yuya Uemura, and Alex Zane and Lance Archer lead Block B with 8 points apiece. New Japan is scheduled to hold Day 13 of the tournament, featuring Block A matches tomorrow in Karatsu, Japan. In news from outside the ring, Baron Corbin became a Jiu-Jitsu champion last Sunday at the Jiu-Jitsu World League competitions in Kissimmee, Florida, according to an announcement from his dojo, Rudo's BJJ. Corbin came in first place in the Gi Adult Masters division with 2 submission victories. And before we leave you today, We'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.